Hmm. What the heck? Thought I fixed that. Okay. Weird, but okay, sure. All right. Hello, hello, hello. So today, we're going to learn about control loops. I feel like I haven't explained what a control loop is, so I'm just gonna explain it real quickly. Let's say you want to control something. For instance, you have a car and you need it to go X distance. Well, the ability of you stepping on the gas and then checking your speed is essentially the control loop being activated, where you are stepping on the gas and that's giving you an output of speed, and you're checking that speed with your eyes and reducing the gas depending on the speed. So I guess that's a control loop essentially. Yeah, so I'm already on lesson 5. This was like an abrupt type of stream where I was like, well, if I'm going to learn something, might as well stream it, right? So, lesson 5, I'm learning PIDs, and it's called the anti-windup. But before we get to the anti-windup, let's back up a little bit on PIDs. So the P stands for essentially error close to the set point. So, for instance, if I have a set point of velocity, let's say 25 miles per hour, and currently my speed is at 24 miles per hour, it would be the set point minus the current speed, which would give me an error of 1 mile per hour. And then I would essentially add that into my equation, which you'll see later, to get your error. And essentially that error slowly ramps up until you hit the set point, or until it thinks it can get to the highest value that is considered your set point. And so this is where the P comes in, where the P coefficient is how high or how small the P coefficient has to be in order to go how high the P coefficient has to be in order for you to hit the set point, or it's maybe a little bit below the set point, you know. I'm still new to the PID. This is my second day, third day technically, so I don't know. The I stands for the slow killer. So if the P is going to figure out your fast error, then the I slowly accumulates up the error and then gives it to you in like a burst. And then it does another check to see if it went over. And that's like overshooting. And the D, which I'm very new to, is essentially the thing that stops or makes it so that once you're reaching your, what's the word I'm looking for, set point, you're slowing down in order to not overshoot on the set point. I think that's what those stand for. I'm not too sure. I've like been, experimenting with it. So, all right, let's move on. So, next, let's pick our fork in the road. Do you want to tame the integral first, which is the anti-windup, or how to tune KPKID systematically, or jump to the D term and see how full PIDs feel in simulation? Which way are you leaning? Well, I don't know which way I'm leaning, so I'm just gonna say you do you, fam. These are always my answers, and I think chat is very bad at understanding sometimes like what I want, but it's better than me telling it, because I have no idea where I'm going. So, alright, let's go with the anti-windup and tuning first. It's the natural next step after PI, because it helps you understand why your KI sometimes misbehaves. Then we'll add in D in lesson 6. Real quick, before we, I guess, continue, let me do something real quick. Let me let me show you, I guess, a little bit. Ah, here we go. Perfect. I'm so glad it's saved. I didn't think it would. So essentially here, you can see that I have my x as the time and my y as the radiant or omega radians per second, which is angular speed. So as you can see here, now you can't, I'm silly. As you can see here, I've set my set point to be 100, right? And so now when we look at this guy, you can see what the control loop is doing. What the control loop is doing is it's essentially going from 0 to above 100 where it overshoots, and then it's settling down at 100. So that's essentially what a control loop does. It makes it so you get to the set point. Okay, moving on. So what's anti-windup? That's the real question. Anti-windup in tuning. It's the natural next step after PI because it helps you understand why your case sometimes. Okay, I feel like I already read that. Why windup happens? When your controller output is clamped, example, motor can only take 0 to 12 volts. The integrator keeps summing error even though the actuator can't follow. Even though the actuator can follow, the output is clamped. The motor can only take. The integrator keeps summing error even though it can't follow. You ask for a huge step. PI control commands 20 volts, but I clamped it at 12 here. See, I clamped it at 12. Interval keeps growing as if it's delivering 20 volts. I see. So somewhere here, even though I've clamped it at 12, the integral here will keep growing because I didn't clamp essentially this guy, right? So the integral keeps growing if it's delivering 20. By the time you reach the set point, the error is charged up and pushes you into overshoot. The trick is don't let the integrator keep growing. One of the simpler versions looks like this. So got this guy, KP error plus KP integral, and I clamp the error before clamping, after clamping. Saturated. Okay. Anti-windup. Only integrate if we're not saturated, if error would push us back inside limits. So if VA is equal to unsaturated VA, or VA is equal to 12 and error is less than 0, and VA equals to 0 and error is greater than 0, integral plus. It doesn't keep winding up in the wrong direction. So let me understand this a little better. So essentially, you're gonna get, let's say for instance, we get 12 here. If I don't clamp it and I get 12, I mean if I clamp it and I get 12 as well, then I know that these two are the same, then I can keep integrating. Otherwise, if the VA is 12, but if the VA is 12 and the error is less than 0, which means there's no error, I have well, let me think. If it's less than 0, it means I've gone in the wrong direction. I've gone past it. If it's greater than 0, that means I still have more error that I need to fix. So I can't go past, I can't go below. That's what those are checking. Why does the VA have to be 0 though? The VA is 0. The VA is 0. This way the integral doesn't keep winding up in the wrong direction. Ziegler-Nicholas style simplified. Set Ki equals 0. So increase Kp until you see output oscillator on the set point. And that Kp is the critical gain. Pick a smaller Kp than that, half of that, for stability. Slowly add Ki until the steady state error disappears, but back off if overshoot grows too much. I'm a little confused. Okay. Can you explain to me why VA has to be equal to 12 and less than 0, and why VA is greater than, or sorry, why VA is 0 and greater than error. YVA is 0 and an error is greater than 0. I am a little confused. Okay, so upper saturation, VA is 12. Imagine the clincher wants to command 20. After clamping, you only get 12. If the error is still positive, you're below the set point. Integrating would keep pushing the command more positive, but it's already stuck at 12. That's useless and causes windup. But if the error goes negative, you overshoot or you're moving closer, then adding it will pull the error back down. It's the usable range. That's actually helpful. So we only allow integration when error is less than 0. These are ORs though. So I keep integrating if I'm within the clamp, or if I'm less than that. Okay. Okay. V equal to 0. Oh no, I didn't even turn on my Pomodoro. Oh no. I'm so bad. It's already been what? 15 minutes. So 15 minutes. Come on, Pomodoro. Don't do this to me. All right, boom. Got it. No, 15 minutes. All right. Lower saturation. Now imagine the controller wants -5, but your motor driver can't go below 0. If the error is negative, you're above the set point. Integrating would keep dragging the command more negative, but you're stuck at 0, so this will lines up too. But if the error goes positive, you fell below set point. Adding it will push the integrator upward into the usable range. So we only allow the integrator when error is greater than 0. So if the controller wants -5 volts, but your motor driver can't go below 0. If the error is negative, you're above the set point. Yep. Integrator would keep dragging the command more negative, but you're stuck at 0. So this winds up 2. But if the error goes positive, you fell below set point. Or upward into the usable area. That's useful. To 0. So, okay. So, if I'm pushing for negative voltage and my error is still greater than 0, that means I still have error, but then I want to integrate because I needed to push positive. I think I understand. If the error is still positive, you're below the set point. More positive, but it's already stuck at 12. That's useless. There goes negative. Okay. If the output is stuck at a limit, don't let the integrator keep pushing into the wall. Only let it integrate if the error is going pointing back or toward the valid range. Suppose your motor command is clamped at 0 and your error is negative. So my motor command is clamped at 0 and your error is negative. Say set point is smaller than your actual speed. If you let the integrator run, will it hurt or help? So my motor command is clamped at 0, but my error is negative, which means it's overshot. Okay. Set point is smaller than my actual speed. So yeah, I've overshot. If you let the integral run, will it be helpful? It should be helpful. since it will go positive. It should be helpful since it'll go positive. If you're clamped at 0, lowest you can go, error is negative. Negative error means actual is greater than set point. You're going too fast. Integrating negative error makes the iterator more negative. Oh. But you're already stuck at 0. The only time it's helpful at the 0 volt is when error is greater than 0. Then iterator makes the control effort more positive, nudging V8 back up into the usable region. Quick reframe. Error signs tells you which way the negative iterator is charging. If that pushes into the wall, freeze it. If it's away from the wall, let it run. Okay, that's a good way to understand it. If that push is into the wall, freeze it. If it's into the wall, freeze it. If it's away from the wall, let it run. Yes, please. I would love a table so I can understand, because my brain doesn't understand which clamp we're on. Okay. So anti-wind-up table. Let's write that real quick. Anti-wind-up table. Okay. So we got 12 volt upper wall. Okay. Error sign. Okay. What integral does. What the integral does. And helpful. Okay. 12 volt upper wall. Just move that down. And we're gonna say error is greater than 0, which means we've error is greater than 0, which means we're under, and error is less than 0. Which means we're above. That's positive. If it's greater than 0, that's positive. Once greater than 0. Once greater than 12. Error is less than 0, adds negative. Drags V8 down. Okay. And if we're at 0 volts, the lower wall, error is less than 0, error is greater than 0. So if it's less than 0, adds negative. Once less than 0. Error is greater than 0. Yeah, error is greater than 0, adds positive. Drags VA up. VA goes up. Okay. So, essentially, the 12 volt upper wall is the highest. So if I go, but my error is greater than 0, then I'm gonna keep adding. Wants to go up, which is wrong, because my error is already greater. But if it's less than 0, it's negative. It drags the V8 down, pulls off the wall. Less than 0 is... Is 2 less than 0? No. Is 1 greater than 0? Yes. Okay, and then if I'm at the lowest wall, error is less than 0, then that adds negative. winds up lower. Adds positive. Drags VA up if it's more. Okay, it's gonna take me a time. This is gonna take some time to get used to. High, less than. Low, greater than. So I gotta remember. No. Wait, do you want me to also help you show this table as a little graph? Yes, please. Give me all the help I can get, because I am not cooking. I'm not cooking here at all. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So, I'm at 12. Upper clamp 12, lower clamp 0. Okay. So I'm at 12 hertz. It winds up. Helps. Pulls down. Pulls up. Hertz winds down. Red dash is the 12th clamp. If the error is greater than 0, but I'm already at the limit, then it's gonna push higher. This hurts me. It pulls down. Okay. But I confused because I feel like I'm supposed to this isn't the, is it? How does this relate to the question? What is this value compared to the control? What is this VA value called? What is this VA value called? Applied armature voltage. It's the control signal. You send it to the motor driver. The controls layers to control the effort actuator input. In physics, it's the input energy source. Okay. So, essentially the VA is considered the input energy source. So we want to control the input energy source. So essentially, anytime I have a controller, the clamps I would have is for the input energy source, right? Essentially, actuator input, because actuators have real world physical links. Motor driver can't push more than its supply voltage. A heater can't supply more than 100%. A valve can't open more than a fully percent. So control image, controller output, control effort. Clamp, actuator saturation, the energy source, actuator limit. Just like a force command. Initial output, like motor speed, doesn't get clamped and it just responds however. The limited input. Whenever you build a controller, the thing you clamp is the signal you send into the physical system. Do you want me to show you a block driver? Clamp sits between the controller and the plant. No, I think I am good. Let's move on. Okay, so that's the wind up. That makes sense. We've just wrapped up PI control, saturation, and anti wind up. Next is D term. The derivative term KD acts like a predictor. Looks at how fast the error is changing. If the system is racing toward the set point, D slows down. Yeah, okay, so that's what I thought the D term would be. Their derivative term, KD. Predictor. Predictor, KD. Oh, got 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 10 seconds before predictor. So I guess I'll just write some quick stuff down and then how fast error is changing. Looks at how fast error is changing if the system is racing towards the set point. If the system racing toward set point. D slows, says slow down. Okay. Got 1 minute left. That's why it's often called the damping term for the shock absorber. Alright, I guess we're moving on to lesson 6. That was lesson 5. PID's almost covered. Start with intuition, why PID alone can overshoot. Determine, show its effects in math plus simulation. Discuss why in real systems D is noisy and how firmware handles it. Do you want to start with the intuition analogy, like a car suspension before equations, or dive straight into the math? We will dive straight into the math in about like 30. What time is it right now? 1:20. So like, let's take a quick break. And then we'll dive in after the quick short break. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay. Alright. There we go, that's done. I like to check Twitter when I've got nothing else going on for me. This isn't like, bro, what's Elon doing? Are you in tank? Terminal dashboards for any shell command. This is kind of like how I find my what's it called, the projects that people are like showing and sampling, because I feel like Twitter is the best place for, or sorry, X is the best place for people to, you know, show their camaraderie and talk about all the cool projects that they've seen or that they're doing, and I like to just kind of help it out a little bit. Sampler is the tool for shell commands, execution, visualization, and alerting. Configurable simply YAML. Why do I need it? One can sample any dynamic processor right from the terminal, observe changes in the database, monitor MQ and flight messages. That's cool. A lot of Rust seems to be terminal based, and you know, I like it. 3 months ago, building an app required 6 months of development, 300K budget, teams of 5 devs, prayer that nothing breaks, and deployed my own SaaS app in 30 minutes, step by step. How I feel like all these, like, oh, build your own, you know, SaaS apps and all this shit is like, it's kind of losing its mark in the world, just like how people would do drop shipping and stuff like that. This is the next version of it. It's building your own SaaS using AI. I think it's going to be the next, or it already has become the next thing that people have been doing. But it's not as easy as it sounds. Like, one, there's so much slop coming out in the world that your slop's not going to be better than anyone else's slop, right? So you have to distinguish yourself already. And I think this really helps entrepreneurs and those who already have big ideas when it comes to software. But it doesn't help the new people who kind of don't have an idea and they're just kind of following somebody else. Like, that's the one mindset you have to get rid of, which is stop following a guru, right? Just research. Go find it on your own. Like, there's so much information on the internet that you don't have to go look for somebody to be your mentor. Just Google it. Or in this case, just AI it. You know. All right, so Dino V3 is a revolutionary new state-of-the-art vision backbone trained to produce rich, dense image features. I love demos. Everything runs in browser. What's this? Wait, what does this do? Whoa. This is cool. Alright. So then, like, all of these, like, cool little things that I see here, I just kind of like quick shots. Dino V3. This would be cool. I kind of want to explore that a little bit more. Maybe test it out, you know? Stood by first stream and we raised 12 million for charity. Most money ever raised on a live stream. I mean, if it's going to charity, good for him. Good stuff. Pitch me your AI product or idea. Who's this guy? Is he like an investor? Is he gonna give you money? Like, why are you pitching to this guy? Oh, Versailles. Never mind. Yeah, go pitch to this guy. Yeah. Cool. I mean, Grok Imagine is now free worldwide. Sick. Graph powered all-in-one RAG system. RAG, anything is a graph driven all-in-one multimodal document processing system built on RAG. It supports all content modalities with a single integrated framework. I am like so behind when it comes to, I think, RAG. Like, I have to actually do some research on that, and I don't have the time for that right now. This legal alien obtained a commercial driver's license in California. He just killed 3 people after making an illegal U-turn? What the heck? Oh, alright. I'm sorry. Okay, fine. I'll get back to that later. But that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. How did the man pass his driver's license? Don't you have to like take like a huge test and shit for that? 1 second. My vacuum is, I think, okay, never mind. It was just staring at the wall for some reason. Whatever. You do you, vacuum. Alright, moving on. Yeah. Also, whenever you're studying, I highly recommend you take notes. Even if it's like very small jotted notes, it stays in your brain longer, I think. Yeah. That's my TED Talk for now. Lesson 6. Start with intuition. Do you want to start with intuition? Yes, please. I think ChatGPT has gotten really good at coming up with nice ways to explain logic to me. Like previously when I asked it for things, it would just give me like the logical definition, but now it's gotten very good at telling me in childish forms, because I am a child and I don't understand things when they are spoken to me in big words, big English. Alright, let's nail the intuition for the D term before we throw math at it. Thank you. Imagine driving a car. I mean, no, this is cool. He's using the same car analogy that I was trying to use, maybe. Gas pedal pressure depends on how far you are from the stop sign. Far equals lots of gas. Close equals less gas. Cool. I term, if you've been going too slow for a while, you push harder. Makes sense? This is like a shock absorber, or your instinct to ease off the gas if you're closing in too quickly. So, without D, you might overshoot the stop sign. Slam the brakes, then oscillate back and forth. With D, the controller feels the speed of the air changing. And damps it down before it overshoot. So it's like I press. So it's like, how do I explain this? Okay. So it's like your eyes are seeing how far to the stop sign you're becoming, and that's essentially your D figuring out that your air is getting closer and closer, and then you're stopping, I think. Alright, anyways, in equations, error is equal to et, which is equal to set point minus output, which is, that's what we saw here. Set point minus output. Derivative term is going to be u dt is equal to kd times det over dt. The derivative of error. So the faster error is changing, the more d term pushes back. So the faster error is changing, the more d term pushes back. Think of like adding friction in your control. If the system is racing, d resists. If the system is creeping, d does nothing. So det, quick check. If your system is sitting exactly at the set point, no error, no movement, what does the d term contribute? Nothing. If the error is steady, even if it's not zero, d term is zero. If the error is changing quickly, d applies a strong opposition force. That's why it's often called the rate dampener. It's called the rate dampener. Rate dampener. Rate dampener. Rate dampener.
No.
Yes. Okay. That's called the rate dampener, shock absorber. So now we can write the full PID control law. Okay. So UT is equal to KP ET, which is just error, plus K of I of the integral e to t dt plus KD of the derivative of error dt over dt. Det over dt. Proportional gain, integrating derivative gain. Okay. Prop gain. Integral gain. Derivative gain. Alright. Yeah. Want me to show you a little simulation how adding KP dampens the overshoot compared to just PI? Maybe. No. Show me in firmware how this equation works. I want to see how it works in firmware. I got 9 minutes. 9 whole minutes. No, ChatGPT's being slow. Ah, cool. Close. Bro. Why's my ChatGPT so slow? Chat, don't do this. My vacuum's dumb. Buddy, you gotta leave. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go. Get out of here. Go. Alright. That one's gone. Control lessons. There we go. Alright. Whoa. Holy Sheba. That's a lot of math. Let's put PID into format the way you actually write it in my controller. We'll do clean C, fixed rate loop, output clamp, anti-wind up, and a filtered derivative. So noise doesn't wreck. Wow. Run at a fixed sample time, read measurement, compute error, integral, put guard with anti-wind up, use a low pass filter differentiator on the measurement, compute unsaturated output, apply back calculation anti-wind up, and keep charging while saturated. These are all big words. Alright, let's get to it. So we've got a structure first called PID. Fine. KP, KI, KD, sure. Filter alpha, computed from FC and DT. Filter derivative filter, first order, low pass on measurement, cutoff frequency in hertz. Okay. Anti-wind up back calculation, output clamp, integral state, previous filtered measurement derivative, previous measurement, previous control. Okay. This is how I get my DE DT, I guess. Alright. PID alpha from FC. PID alpha from FC. Bilinear-ish alpha. Small alpha, less filtering. Alpha is 0.2, typical for D. So 2.0 m pi times FC times dt. 1 over 1 plus x. Okay, we're gonna have to get back to this later because yo no sé. Alright, PID initialization. Here we go. So I got a KP value, KI value, KD value. PID filter from FC, FCD, and DT. Caw. Why not? Minimum and maximum clamps. Integral value. D measured previous. Everything should be 0 and initialized to 0. Okay, sure. So, one PID update at fixed DT. Let's get back to that. Okay. So, set point, measurement, and DT. So this is my error. It's gonna be my set point minus my measured. My derivative on measurement with first order low pass. dy is measurement minus PID previous divided by dt. What the heck kind of math is this? Hold on. Oh. Is PID initialized? If it's 1, then it's this guy, otherwise it's 0. So PID is initialized here. But I don't think that's right, so it's 0. Moving on. PID filter alpha, y dot f, the first derivative, is a times PID measurement previous, but I don't have a previous measurement, 0. So minus a is just the filter, times dy, and dy is also 0. So first one's gonna be 0. First one's 0. Determine. Note the minus sign, derivative of error to minus derivative of measurement for constant set point. PID KD, which is 0, I think. Whatever KD is actually. Y dot F 0, 0. Proportional term. This is gonna be big. It's gonna be like 100, I guess. First of all. So KP times E. And then integral prediction is going to be PID I, which is also 0. 0 plus KIE times DT. E is going to be 100, PID KI, whatever now number that is, times DT. Unsaturated control. This is the full value of the U that we looked at. UT equals KP plus KI plus KD. So that's the unsaturated version of it. Then we want the saturated version. Just gonna say the same, but then we're gonna check our clamps, and we're gonna set our clamps based on our min and max, and then we're gonna do the NT wind up back calculation, which is I corrected as I next plus K dot y minus y instance constant. That's our new PID I. And then we're gonna save our state to D measured previously is y dot f, and y previous is measured, u previous is u, and initialized y dot f. D. What's my D term? D term is supposed to be dkd times de over dt. This is kd. This is de over dt, I guess. Y dot f, which is going to be a measured previously plus, I'm going to have to go back and look at this, I think. Anyways, all right, moving on. Let's figure out what's actually happening. 1 millisecond loop. So 0 to 12, set point's 100. 0.3, 1, 0.05, 100, 0.5. I wish they would label these for me, so I know. Whatever. Read sensor position, your planned output. PID update. Set point measured and DT. Then the writing of the actual voltage. Where does that come from? I guess I'm returning my U value. And that's it. Okay. Derivative on measurement, D is equal to minus KD times Y dot F. For a set point, E dot, or E first derivative is always equal to minus Y dot dy dt times sensor noise. Alright. Sanity checks. Alright, I will come back to that later. Let's finish this. That's crazy. The video is currently going around of a man beating up 5 women who tried to jump his wife. Most of the women are and saying he should go to put B. What? What the heck? Alright. Yes. Yes. I have to be able to say this. ID for software development is better than a command line interface. We fought this war in a long time. Why is now provider releasing a CLI for AI coding? What's the madness about? Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of people who use Vim, and you know, I think I totally agree. It shouldn't be a command line interface, but maybe a terminal editor would be better. The promise of Rust, it usually takes people a few tries to get comfortable with it, but when it clicks, you get not only memory safety, but more correct program. You know, treat the output of compilers as noise, but we can safely ignore while searching for the actual button. Rust. I love the Rust compiler. It's really nice. It tells me exactly where I messed up. This is my website. Guess the stack. 100% SEO, best practices, accessibility. This is clearly an HTML written thing here with just hundreds everywhere. That's your stack. It's just pure HTML. Full stack, software engineering, post tech related stuff. So if you're seeing this comment, say hi. Oh, wow. That's nice. She threw all this away because she wouldn't stop talking about shitty. But okay. What? What? That's crazy. What is this called? Higgs field. Higgs field. AI product placement. That's crazy. All right. can't read that. The group that established the data department established the early internet energy management branch, which holds the management system group containing general system facts. Internet MIBT system name. This is too much math. I mean, this is too much networking for me. Whoa. Is this what's it called? The what's the one in France? Semi-polling new Tesla caught fire on the 5 freeway today in LA. Yikes, that battery exploded? What? It kind of looks like, wait, kind of looks like the truck exploded. Or is that from the, is that from a car? No, it looks like the truck exploded. From what I'm seeing. Trenton just dropped China's answer to Google Gemini 3. This AI can generate playable scenes plus real-time edits just from text and image. That's cool. There's lots of like this new AI world gen stuff coming out, and I think that's going to be really helpful in AI. I mean, not what? Wow, I just repeated my own words. It's going to be really helpful in VR. The traditional letting babies sleep outside in snowy weather in Scandinavian countries. What? Wow. Japan is using piezoelectric floor tiles in busy areas like Shibuya and Tokyo to convert footsteps into clean electricity. That's cool. Japan is like so ahead when it comes to like this technology and shit, but I don't think I would be wanting to step on this floor. It would kind of remind me of well, all right, I guess that's pretty much it for today's stream. We learned some derivatives and anti-windup, as well as some more PID stuff. Yeah, if you want to see more of like controls content, let me know, because I just kind of like do that on the back end, because I want to learn controls. I feel like controls should be something I put in the back of my pocket, and it's also just really cool to understand how the controls works in general, I think. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me.